What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to the Barbarian Warlord Season 4 semifinals now. Moving along in the tournament pretty quickly, and we have a good semifinal for you guys. It's Asseror versus Barry. Um, both progressed from the first round. I think Asseror won 2-0 against Fado, Barry won 2-1 against... I don't remember who, to be honest. I'm trying to remember, but I don't. But whatever. Anyway, they're both in the semifinals. I want to say Asseror used like Galatia and Tillis, and Barry maybe used like Boyai and Galatia or something like that. So anyway, both use some good factions, which means they should have relatively even factions moving forward. Barry did pick first in game 1. He picked Arverni, a very strong faction. Sarah countered with Lusitani, so let's get into it and see this game. Alright, so we have Asseror's POV here with Lusitani against Arverni. It's an interesting matchup. Lusitani, kind of a weak faction, but with potential to upset the bigger factions. They're nice, they're a nice faction if you don't want to waste something good. You can maybe beat a faction that's generally considered pretty strong, like Arverni. Lusitani does get 5 same and 8 melee. Most have 4 and 7, so that'll be a big advantage as well. Let's see what Asseror's gone for. He's gone for 5 Scutaria cav, which does make a lot of sense. Against Arverni, you just have weaker calves, so having the 5 cav, ensuring that is a pretty good situation for you, not being completely out cav, especially if he has the noble horse, then it's very tough for you. So 5 cav sort of necessary for Lusitania. Plus, what are you gonna spend that money on anyway? Not many options there. He does have, looks like 1, 2, 3, 4 veteran shield warriors, 2 Lusitania nobles, and looks like 2 Iberian swords. You're not going for 5 vet shields. Maybe that's one thing that the cav could have been, but then because the spears are so bad for Lusitani, yeah, I think this kind of makes sense. You're gonna have 2 Iberian swords, which sure will not really, challenge Celtics or Chosen swords or anything. But with 2 Lusitani nobles and 4 veteran shield warriors, your infantry advantage is already secured. Especially if you look at Barry's army, there's 2 Celtic warriors on the field, so no problems there. So the Iberian swords can be used to just get their peel off, and then go kill some spears and stuff that Lusitani might otherwise have a hard time dealing with. He does have 4 Iberian slingers, so 5 Iberian slingers, so that's probably also why he brought 5 cav. He's going with 5 Iberian slingers. He has 1 Scutaria and 2 Scutaria spearmen. So this is a nice army from Asseror because it has no Lusitani guerrillas. Like, you just don't want to you don't want to play with Lusitani guerrillas. They're just so bad. You do have the Iberian sword, but 5 slingers, 5 cav, very balanced. And you have the very strong infantry corps that Lusitani can always bring. So I do like this. And the battle's about to start, so let's kind of look at Barry's army quickly. Looks like 3 Levy Freemen, 2 Spear Warriors, 3 Oathsworn, so a lot of Oathsworn, 2 Chosens, 2 Celtics, 4 Heavy Horse, and 4 Celtic Slingers, so a very normal army from Barry. 3 Oathsworn kind of offsets that infantry, but again, like, the Chosens and the Celtics have no shot against these vet shields. And there's an extra melee even on the field for Lusitania. Spears, the Scutaria Spears are going to be pretty evenly matched with the Spear Warriors, although the Spear Warriors are slightly better. But nothing serious, really. But yeah, they will win. Now attack gonna come down this flank. Actually, gonna get a nice peel volley here. Gonna kill 4 men immediately. But then gonna get the charge in anyway. So Scutaria Spear is gonna start dropping. Not the best charge from these heavy horses. We're gonna get instantly shot down pretty heavily. Scutaria Cav also getting shot by the slingers, but obviously not gonna be as much. And the rotations are coming into this side. Celtic Warrior gonna get charged by the Iberian sword again. Would like to see the Iberian swords just getting their Pila, like maybe rotate the vet shield into this fight. Because like now the Iberian sword's just gonna be kind of wasted in melee. We'll do okay because it got the clean charge on the Celtic, but still. This heavy horse down 30 men immediately is very nice. This heavy horse though got a nice charge into vet shields, insta kills probably more than 7 men once this charge is done. But this heavy horse is gonna go down, although the spear is gonna come and help that. Well, yeah, I mean, the Scutaria Cav basically already won this, so I could literally just pull back at this point and retreat to the safety of the Scutaria Spear. But now the Lusitani Noble General going to get in here. We'll start cooking up this Oathsworn. If you can get these units out, Asseror, back them up. Oh, I'm lagging a little bit. Sorry. Yeah, looks like we're back. But yeah, if you can pull back here with these other units and just let the Lusitani Noble fight this Oathsworn and Levy Freeman, look at a ton of kills. Celtic Warrior, actually, yeah, start a trade now. Remember, this Iberian Sword got a clean charge, still not really doing that well against the Celtic. And over here, Yeah, a pretty good win here because there's only 15 men. This heavy horse is pretty much dead. This Guitar Cav is still very useful. Over here, a lot of units out of the fight, but Asseror is rotating to the main engagement faster, and he has a lot of healthy cav. Remember, he has an extra cav, and his cav is just generally going to be healthier um, than Barry's cav, so that's good, which means these 5 slingers can cook late, and he hasn't really got that many bad fights. The only unit that's in a really bad fight is that Shield Warrior, which kind of got cooked because of that cav charge. Got, yeah, 15 kills in the charge. Oathsworn going on kills. Actually, no, Asseror's gonna pull Lusitani Noble out. Not sure about that at all, to be honest. Because these fights are all very good for him. This is where, I mean, maybe he didn't want his generals to die, but if they pile up here in the blob, it really favors Lusitani because that's where their units are just better in that straight melee fight. But this actually will still call to Levy Freeman, get some kills in the Oathsworn, but the Lusitani Noble really needs to activate itself ASAP. Nice charge here from the heavy horse, but again, a little aggressive. Skitarik having to come in here and probably get a couple of kills on the retreat. But the Oathsworn gonna come in here, so yeah, I mean, kind of decent, but the Oathsworn gonna start cooking in this fight, and there's a big flank rotating in. So Asseror needs to start dominating on this. Like, he's so scared to use his general, I don't understand. Like, this general needs to get in here. And the other Lusitani Noble as well, so far back. Pretty bad shots here as well. Like, Lusitani units are so susceptible to missiles that you don't really want to shoot into these blobs because you're gonna be friendly firing. You're gonna be friendly firing yourself so much. Um, you know, yeah, it's just not worth it. This Oathsworn gonna start racking up the kills. So 2 veteran shield warriors are essentially gonna be wasted to Oathsworn, while the Lusitani nobles are doing absolutely nothing. Like, that doesn't make sense, right? You want 2 of your Lusitani nobles to kill 2 of their Oathsworn, then sure there'll be an extra Oathsworn, but then you can imagine vet shield warriors getting in against Chosens or Celtics on the flanks would be absolutely very nice. Here again, like another vet shield warrior in against an Oathsworn. So everywhere there's an Oathsworn, Barry's getting value because he's fighting against vet shield warriors, which are the easiest fight when he can manage. Um, and so now Lusitani nobles will get in. They're going to be in kind of like every unit here. So this is really nice. But again, this cav kind of dying. Can pull out now though. Chosen Sword's going to start dropping hard to these Oathsworn. And on the flank again, you know, there's all these extra spears for Mr. Barry. That's going to be big because they can pressure the slingers. Lusitani Noble finally going to get in, but Vet Shields have lost a lot of Scutario Spears. Kind of needs the Scutario Spear to live to counter this. Maybe the Vet Shield or Iberian Sword can do it, I guess. That's fine. Lusitani Noble's absolutely starting to cook. Cav eating back shots here. I mean, it doesn't really need the Cav to be in this fight any longer. He's already done a good job here. Gonna trade Cav here pretty nicely. And again, like 3 Cav blobbing up. Cav blobbing does not favor anyone. Really. Like, it doesn't make the fight go any faster. In fact, it's going to favor whoever gets the second charge into all these units. And these heavy horses are just much better than this Guitar Cav. So these blobs are not good. The spears will come into this fight, though, and the good slinger fire is going to help as well. Lusitani Noble cooking, other one cooking as well. That seems pretty decent, but the Oathsworn are still pretty healthy. I mean, they really haven't lost all that much. Maybe this one is going to lose eventually long term. But now the Cav blobbing up has really not helped Barry that Asseror that much, because now they're getting shot really hard, and when they're blobbed, obviously they're just gonna get shot even harder. And now this full heavy horse breaking it through the center gap here. There is a Cav behind though, so the slinger is gonna get traded. Actually, this one Skitaria Cav actually doing a big job here to hold this heavy horse back so that this other guy can get in here. And Lusitani Noble on the flank should open up the general and kill him. Peeling first, and then gonna charge in. Gonna get some more Pila. I mean, that's a really good fight for the gen. Gonna just snipe the Oathsworn general, hopefully. And this Lusitani Noble is also very healthy, so this looks pretty good for Asseror right now. But he is losing Cav. I mean, this Cav should probably die, but again, it's the situation where he's gonna friendly fire all of his own Cav to kill this heavy horse. Like, he probably doesn't need to do that. Maybe just shoot with this one, because it's gonna get the rear shots. Right now, yeah, just a ton of friendly fire. Now he should stop shooting, right? Because he has the advantage here. He should just completely stop shooting this blob. Bring the slingers back into play. He needs to hunt. I mean, he doesn't need to kill these slingers yet, I guess, because he still has his own Cav on the field. Gonna clean up these heavy horses. This one's 44 men, though, so this one actually might just win this fight, because again, the slingers can also help in here. And now there's just free spear. I mean, there's a free chosen sword. Yeah, I think those early Vet Shield losses to the Oathsworn are going to prove too much, because the Oathsworn are dying now to the Lusitani Nobles, but that could have been done first without the veteran shields dying prematurely. Heavy Horse going to go down, though. And to get some kills, I don't know how he really got into these slingers. Kind of suspect, because maybe he had an angle to do this. But now the slingers are going to start opening up on the Lusitani units, and of course that's going to be devastation. Started trying to cycle charge, but he needs to just get in. It's better for him to be in combat now than out of combat, since the Lucine Nobles are just going to get shot down by these slingers. Okay, he's actually out of range, so he's going to get out of range and just try to reset here. He does have still all 5 slingers. They're a little weak. Same could be said for some of the Celtic slingers as well. 2 full Celtic slingers though, and none of these units for Lusitania are even close to full, except for this one. So he's gonna get to safety with the Lusitania nobles. But now there's just too much infantry, I fear, on the field, because, again, he has those extra spears and they manage to survive. Asseror was a little wasteful with his own spears, kind of keeping them in melee. Like, with these spears, once your infantry gets in, just get them out. Get them to safety so they can either flank and pressure the slingers or just keep your own safe, whichever you prefer. But yeah, now there's a 64-man chosen sword, a bunch of small units here, and there's only like 2 infantry. And again, these infantry can just get shot down by the Celtic slingers. Cav force is relatively even. I mean, it's actually 2-1 in favor of Asseror, but they're so small that they can't really. I mean, this one could get into the slingers, but it's countered by this one. So this Cav can never really get into the slingers. I mean, he has to fight, right? Surely he just has to take this fight. Maybe he's waiting on a second wind or something. His general is very tired though, so he's gonna have to just commit here. Running away does nothing. You're just gonna get backshot. Backshotted. Nice shots on this Cav actually. Gonna take out a bunch of those heavy horses. That actually helps. This Cav has a significant advantage here. Yeah, but Asseror retreating is kind of pointless. You actually dodged that volley. You're gonna go into combat here, kill this Oathsworn off very easily. So that's good.
Understood. I'll go.
Popping second wind, okay, yeah. He's not popping second wind as Gen though, I guess because he's not in combat, right? He knows this unit's gonna fight, so it might as well be as good as possible. He can take this fight for sure, and just dump, yeah, just dump. Again, probably gonna be quite a bit of friendly fire here. Like, you shouldn't be shooting with these units, like they're not really gonna get any good shots. It's just the ones that are backshotting that you want to shoot with. They'll friendly fire yourself. So I know we're gonna go down long term here though. The general just has to play back and survive. But the Lusitania are gonna do so much damage because they're just so fucking good. Sword siding the shit out of this chosen sword is very nice. But yeah, I mean, long term, of course, this unit is just dead, but he did quite a bit of damage. The Cav charging in and trading off. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of what was actually his unit lives with 8 men. He does have this small Cav unit though that could come into play if he can just time it right. But now these slingers, I think what he needs to do right now, his slingers need to melee the enemy slingers. I say that because the slingers can't be allowed to dump the gen. The gen can win the game here if the other slingers don't get to shoot at all, right? If we imagine these slingers completely out of the game, and we imagine an 80-man Lusitania Noble and a 25 against these remaining infantry, and remember, there's Cav, and of course these slingers are still there, but these slingers will win the melee fight probably, and then the general can cook. But if the general gets shot down, of course he's just going to lose here, because there's so much infantry left on the field, the slingers can just trade. So he's trying to get out. I mean, Lusitania Noble is just absolutely dominant, even 20 men. But there's only 36 and 40, so there is more Lusitania Nobles on the field than Oathsworn. Well, they're just so susceptible to missiles. The Cav needs to activate itself. The Cav just needs to run forward here with the slingers and pressure all these slingers so that the gen can live. Especially now he's getting sword-sided, trying to get back in combat. Gonna get the engagement against the Oathsworn, so that's decent. Yeah, at least kill off this Oathsworn before his general goes down. The Cav trying to run in, but not gonna make anything happen. But again, it is gonna distract at least. Gets the kill here, and now it's just gonna be slingers versus slingers. And the Oathsworn. But now he just needs to dump. Oh, I mean, this Oathsworn's even winning, I guess. So, yeah, it's going to be tough. Now it's just slingers. And honestly, number count 90, 60, so that's 150, 200, almost 240 slingers against 60, 120, 170, 210. Okay, he has more. He does have more slingers, so he can just take the slinger fight here. And it's 5v4 as well. The morale, though, because the general's dead, probably means that he doesn't win this, but let's see. Actually, dumping the Oathsworn, worst possible decision here. Can't afford to do that, unfortunately. And at this point, like, these slingers. Okay, they are stabilizing. The recently died penalty did end. Well, I think there's just, like, this slinger is getting sword-sided. A little bit. And it's just, yeah, these slingers are lower HP. It's 4v5, there's actually more yellow slingers, but they're a little weaker, HP-wise. Also, just, are they the same? 25, 45. Yeah, they are the same unit, but in the end, also the general being alive, the Oathsworn, actually looks like the yellow slingers are out of ammo. So all those things combined will just cause a mass rout. Very close game. Well played to Barry there, keeping the Cav alive long enough, 45, to make sure his Slinger survived, and then getting the early engagements very nicely, and then just shooting down the Lusitania Nobles. The Lusitania Nobles are just baiting too hard. They want to be in the action. Um, while there's more things to mess around with the Slingers. Like, Lusitania Nobles in an endgame like this are really bad, because the Slingers are never going to be pressured, right? And they just freely shoot. Like, maybe, like I said, maybe the Slingers can go in melee and do some stuff, but they weren't doing that. Um, early game though, the Slingers have much more to worry about. Like even Asseror had cav behind and stuff. So if Lusitania Nobles were cooking at that point, it would have been good. But trying to keep them for the end game, not necessarily the best strategy. So very close game. Barry does win, and he wins picking first, which means he'll get the free counter pick in game two. Asseror could obviously go a strong faction to negate that, but yeah, just looking overall, yeah, two Vet Shield Warriors, as we said, not getting any value because they died to Oathsworn. Even, yeah, one Scutari Spear dying in melee as well. Iberian Sword is getting low value. Celtic Warrior is not getting much more value, and Chosen Sword is also not getting much more value, but it was because they also fought Lusitania Nobles, but there's 3 Oathsworn and only 2 Lusitania Nobles, right? So more of the Vet Shields are trading off ineffectively, and of course the Vet Shields are also much more valuable than the Chosen Swords in this matchup, because everything else for Arverni is much better than everything else for Lusitani's, support units, Cav, much better on the side of our Vernie. But yeah, very, very close game. Oathsworn just being a little more valuable in this fight in the end, I think, in the Cav usage. 5v4, obviously Skutari Cav are weaker than the Heavy Horse, but considering how aggressive Barry was early on with the Cav, you would have liked to see maybe the 5 Cav have more of an impact, kill some of the Slingers, but they weren't really able to do that. So we go on to game 2 anyway. And this time, I think Asseror actually chose Swaby, which is a very risky pick, considering what Barry has available. You can kind of freely counter it. He goes Galatia, which is a good decision. Maybe not the optimal play against the Swaby Rush. Certainly a good one, though. I mean, Galatia has good Cav, but you probably want to be like Arverni or something with more Cav. Because Galatia's only bringing the 3 Cav. They do have the Jav Cav to counter the Swaby Jav Cav, so maybe that was part of the thought process. But because you only have 3 Cav, he's bringing 2 Heavy Horse, or 2 Noble Riders, sorry, for Swaby, which means you only have 1 melee Cav advantage, and it's essentially your general, which you don't really want to use aggressively. But yeah, it's full fast charge from Asseror. Let's look at his army real quick. He has 4 Celtic or Germanic Slingers. Very nice because you can't kill them, right? So, I mean, in shooting wise, because of the 60% block chance, so they can kind of just negate the enemy archers, which kind of forces Galatia to want to be aggressive, right? Swaby doesn't they have fast charge, but because they have the slingers, they can just park their slingers here and shoot down the Syrians. The Syrians will get almost no kills against the Germanic slingers, which means Swaby actually, like, Galatia wants to attack into Swaby, which means Swaby will have a much easier time popping the fast charge, whereas normally, like, Galatia would just be kiting, or, like, people would just be kiting, but against the Germanic slingers, it's not really necessary, or not really a good idea for him to do that, so it's a very nice pick there. With 4 Wodenaz, I mean, you pretty much want to always be bringing these. And 4 Bloodsworn looks like. He's got a Swordmaster, he's got 2 Spear Levy, and the 2 Noble Riders, and the 3 Germanic Scout Riders. So, not even using the full melee complement, but obviously it's like max 7, but there's 4 Wodenaz on the field, which are ridiculously strong. The Spear Levy could have been Club Levy, but the extra defense, like, ability to kill Cav is kind of useful, actually. Not playing very wide, though, and it's, possible to do so. Maybe with this kind of army you don't want to as much, but it does make it very easy to kind of stop you from attacking. When you're so narrow, oh, I'm sorry. But yeah, when you're so narrow, it is easy to, it's very predictable what you're doing. But again, maybe because he has the slingers, he feels like he can afford to do that because Galatia has to come to him, kind of. On the side of Barry's Galatia, we have the normal Cav complement, 2 Cappadocians, 1 Noble Horse, 1, 2, 3, 4 Galatian Legionnaires, and 3 Galatian Swords. We have 3 Galatian Spears, and a Levy Freeman, and then 2 Horse Skirmishers, and a Galatian Raider, which is nice, because the Galatian Raiders can kill missiles quite easily. Asseror just gonna go for the fast charge immediately, though. Barry gonna just withdraw. That makes a lot of sense. Baiting the Cav, not sure why he baits the Cav here. Very slow to move forward from Asseror, like, very slow. Barry might just be able to escape here. He kind of needs to use the Germanic Scouts, I would say, or the Noble Riders to force an engagement. He's going to do that now. They are in the second phase. They have, 45 more seconds to go forward, so he will get fights, but maybe not an ideal amount. Does he get the Pila here? No Pila, that's big. Noble Rider's gonna smash that. Some Pila coming from the Legions, but not much. But I'm not sure if Barry really wants to commit here. Like, he could just retreat this Galatian Legionary. But he's not gonna be able to here. Wodenaz gonna get smashed by a Cappadocian, smashed by a Noble Horse. All looking good. Well, yeah, Barry indeed does retreat here with the Legion. But one kill here, a bunch of kills on these Cappadocians. Trying to look, sorry. Let's pause here. Noble Horse, instant down 15 men. This Cappadocian gonna get a nice, well, he's gonna get peeled to shit, but he's gonna get a charge on the Swordmaster. Swordmaster shouldn't lose too many men though. Galatian Spear down immediately. Levy Freeman gonna die. And this is like the bait of Swaby, right? Yeah, you ran away from the fast charge, sure. But Swaby's actually getting a lot of value here. Like, you already lost an entire unit. You're gonna lose another entire unit. You're gonna probably lose more units, like this unit, maybe like a couple other units in here. And a lot of men on your cab as well. So now, sure, Swaby's fast charge is over, and you dealt with that. But these units are still very good. Like Bloodsworn and Wodenaz don't need fast charge to be very effective. Of course, they're going to be less effective, but you're also just playing 17 units versus 20. You're probably down 2,000 denarii or something in material total. Maybe not quite that much, maybe like a 1,000 or 1,500. And it's hard to win playing with that much money, even if your faction is slightly better, essentially, because you've wasted out the fast charge that makes Swaby so good. Playing down material is still going to be very hard, and Swaby hasn't lost almost anything, right? Sure, they lost some Wodenaz, I guess that's pretty good value, but here, you know, nothing is dead pretty much. So, I guess some Germanic Slingers doesn't really matter, though. Over here, I guess, like, another Wodenaz is kind of hurt. So I guess you're getting some compensation, so not terrible. Because those Wodenaz ate those frontal charges, but these Cav are also going to eat a lot of damage as well in return. Here comes the... Yeah, gonna get some Pila here. The Slinger is gonna kind of eat this charge as well. So Slinger is gonna eat it, but again, this Cappadocian is already down 10 men. Here comes a fucking massive blob of Swabians. And they're just gonna get into these Galatian Legionnaires from behind. Fast charge is over, though, it looks like. Actually, no. Those units just never had fast charge. Fast charge is still going down. Which means that this Legion is gonna lose quite a few men. And so is this Galatian Spear. And now, of course, the Jab Cav are also a big threat. Levy Freeman going down. He needs to, you know, Asseror needs to pull out now and reform his lines. There's a lot of blobbing going on. So much blobbing, it's not really good if Barry can take advantage of that. One Syrian Archer gonna die as well, though, and again, there's still the Slingers to take care of, and the Jav Cav. Here comes a nice Bloodsworn charge again. Bloodsworn, they don't need no help. They're gonna kill these Galatian Spears easily. They can kill this Galatian Sword as well. If they get a charge anyway. They do. So yeah, that's gonna be big. Noble Rider does lose a lot of men, but now again, full Wodenaz on the flank. Galatian Sword's gonna go down here. Gonna get nice, not even gonna get nice people just dying. And again, these Cappadocians are very hurt. These Cappadocians are gonna die in the center. Just the overwhelming speed of and aggression of this rush, and also Asseror's push back these Jav Cav, and now the Syrians are gonna come under threat because these Cav are so weak they can't really hold the line against anything. And the Slingers are still alive. Here comes the Noble Rider. Asseror saying, I don't care about the archers really, I more care about killing these Cappadocians, which is definitely true. He knows this Jav Cav will come and kill the archers in 2 seconds. And the Noble Horse Rider dying, General dead, and now morale will be hugely problematic here. There's still a full Swordmaster. Yeah, there are Galatian Legionnaires, but again, when all your support is dead, 4 Galatian Legionnaires doesn't actually mean all that much. Now with the General dying, of course, the morale even bigger of a problem. And there's still full Wodenaz all over the place. Like, sure, a couple of Wodenaz did die, but the Cav just didn't hold up, and a lot of blobbing and wasted opportunities, you know, losing units for no reason to the fast charge. And yeah, I mean, units are just gonna start dying. The right flank will be pretty heavily in favor of Barry, but it's not gonna matter. I mean, the Slingers are still alive, right? The Slingers will just end this game for you with the remaining Wodenaz, some Cav, and, you know, whatever scraps remain of the Bloodsworn. It's totally more than enough here. Suicide charge for the Gen. Pride was popped here on the Wodenaz, so now let's see the Wodenaz damage. Yeah, 18 AP, so they're just gonna start cooking the fuck out of the Galatian Legionnaires. And yep, I mean, that's the power of Swaby. Just every unit can just kill super well in the right situations, and Asseror actually put them in very good situations. It was looking a little sus at the start when Barry was able to run away for quite a while, but a minute is enough time to catch up, and he finally, you know, Asseror finally used the Noble Riders to force a fight. And yeah, Barry did a good job only losing a, you know, Galatian Spear there. For that, but eventually got into some of the legions. got some kills on Cappadocians, and yeah, the Collapses came in with the better Jav Cav. Yeah, getting in and finishing the job here. Still gonna end up being pretty close, like, there's not much left here, and Asseror's kind of suiciding his own men with these dramatic slingers. I guess there's kind of a free shot here. Maybe Barry's not even to attack order there. Swordmaster's still 70 men, and I mean, yeah, there's decent amount of stuff left. Swaby always has this thing where towards the end of the game, Swaby starts to just like fall, like fall off a lot, which can bring factions back into the game with like very little left. But this should be too much because all four slingers are alive, and there's nothing really going to be winning here. Like these legions are both going to die, even if the swordmasters are low. Like maybe these legions will win, but they're not that healthy. The Syrians are alive still, and there actually is a good amount of cav. All three Jav Cabs. So maybe the Jav Cab can hunt down the Slingers. There's a chance, but what infantry are you really going to have left at that point? I mean, the Syrians can kill some stuff, certainly. Everything routing in this area. But this flank looks a little better. This Swordmaster is still alive. Should be able to trade off these legions with the help of the Slingers. And there is one Jav Cab at least to protect against the mercenary horse skirmishers. Galatian Raider could be big here, though. The Galatian Raider is kind of a big thing because it can kill, probably not the Noble Rider, but it can kill everything else. So actually, yeah, Galatia pulling it back a bit now. I mean, the archers are just dominating the swordmasters here. Wait, do these guys have jabs? If they have jabs, that would be super, yeah. They can kill the general with the javelins, maybe. So yeah, actually things turning around now, I would say. So, every chance here, but the legions are very low, very tired. The archers gonna kill off the swordmaster, but Asseror nicely facing the fire. Nice charge from the gen. Getting some damage on the horse skirmish. Remember, the general is dead for Galatia, which makes things difficult. Barry gonna suicide for the slinger, but it's not gonna be great. Here it's Galatian Raider against Dramatic Scout Rider. So well played from Asseror, identifying the biggest target, the Galatian Raider, and using his healthy Dramatic Scout to kill it. Because now, of course, the Galatian Raider or the Scout Rider can really kill these horse skirmishers very easily. The general, even if he has to die for this, but she isn't, is doing fine. The Swordmaster is pushing one archer out of the way, so at least there's only one archer that you have to kill. And sure, these horse skirmishers, because the general's alive, are never really going to kill the slingers. They just don't do any damage. So the kite is well and truly on here. And because this one Scout Rider was so healthy, he was able to kill the Raider and kind of simplify the position a lot for Asseror. So it actually became a very close game in the end, because again, Swaby, once they start losing the ability to cycle charge, use those fast charges, get really good engagements, they'll start to drop really quick, especially on lower HP, especially, Bloodsworn, Woden has low armor. Not really a long-term good unit, just kind of really killing things fast. But now the game is pretty much over. I mean, there's 2 cav to 1, 4 slingers. Yeah, there's 2 legions on the field and no infantry besides this swordmaster. But the swordmaster is doing its job, keeping this archer out of the play. And once Asseror just splits up here, it should be pretty much over. She's pulling back like together, which is kind of stupid. I know he probably doesn't want these low slingers to wrap, but he has 2 cav, right? He can always block the horse skirmisher with his Scout Rider, and then his general can just play a defense against the legions if necessary. I feel like there's a chance for Barry to use the javelins on the general. I think that would have been very nice. But now, yeah, I mean, again, the archers can do nothing against these slingers. Maybe killing once a couple guys every volley, but that's obviously not gonna be good enough. There's not enough ammo left. Scout Rider gonna charge in, kill off the horse skirmisher, and obviously from there, you don't really have a game at that point. Now the archers are gonna fall, and the slingers will be more than healthy to finish the legions off. And they probably could do it even with just the cav and the swordmaster here. So very close game, well played to both again. Sarah getting the early advantage, but this time he was able to close it. Barry almost making a huge comeback, but yeah, it's just hard to play the game when you're down a few units after the fast charge. He did get good value on the Wodenaz with his charges, but he just blobbed up a lot and let his legions die when he could have just played a little bit slower probably. Some of his archers died for free as well. So a little less than ideal. And yeah, I think that's a really good second game. So we go down to a decider game where they had to agree on factions. I don't remember exactly what they agreed on, but we'll obviously see in a second. Maybe it was like a mirror. Ah, yeah, Nervia mirror. So this will get interesting. Mirror matchup. Very annoying to play these, to be honest, especially for the decider match. Kind of sucks. But two things that we look at in the mirror matchup: army comps. Is there any differences? Where is the difference? And then obviously, you know, it is a pure outplay if you win, but it is also a little fucking random. It's hard to create asymmetry, so you're kind of just playing. It's not lucky. Like most of the time, if a unit wins, it's gonna be because it was manipulated beforehand to make sure it could win the fight. But there's always the chance. So let's look at Asseror's army. He only has 3 cav. I like that a lot in this matchup, but it could be risky. We'll have to see. 3 Jav cav as well though to support. We have 3 Levy Freeman in front, so it's a 3 counter. He's got 3 Oathsworn as well. He's got 3 Fierce Swords, 1 Celtic Warrior, and 4 Slingers. So very normal army. 3 Oathsworn, pretty strong. Only 3 cav, but you can play very defensively with them because you have the 4 Slingers, because you have the Jav cav. Obviously, you're going to be Jav cav on both sides, but Barry has gone for 4 cav and 3 Jav cav. He does have 4 Celtic Slingers as well. He has 3 Oathsworn. And he only has 2 Fierce Swords with 2 Celtic Warriors and 2 Levy Freemen. So it's basically the trade is extra Levy Freeman for Asseror. He also has this Fierce Sword for a Celtic, so much better infantry. But extra Mighty Horse on the side of Beru, which could be very good. Again, Fierce Swords, Celtic's very weak to Cav, so even the medium mass Mighty Horse could do a lot here. But you're gonna have to deal somehow with the infantry advantage. I mean, it's a big advantage having the extra Fierce Sword, but you still have the 3 Oathsworn Fierce Swords, a very susceptible unit. You know, if anything goes badly for them in a fight, they can charge, they eat too much Pula if they're getting sword-sided or something, or even just shot in general, they can go down very quickly. I mean, obviously same for Celtic Warriors, but the Celtic Warriors aren't a really big investment, whereas the Fierce Swords kind of are at 700, well, 690, but you know what it is. And obviously the Jav Cav is gonna be a big thing. It's very equal here, 3 to 3. Asseror putting 2 on his right flank. So countering very directly. Just not going to give up anything. Slinger battle will be very equal. Asseror a little more condensed, as he should be with the cav disadvantage. And we'll have to see. I mean, Berry has 2 Celtic Warriors, very aggressive on his front line, which could be a target. Again, the extra Levy Freeman going to be able to block Cav pretty effectively, but Levy Freeman can die very quickly, right? And then things are back to equality. Nice dodge there from both sides, kind of. Loses 2 and 1, so nothing big. I mean, I technically would say Asseror wants to keep his Jav Cav alive more with ammo because there's more Cav to shoot, right? So, you know, trading Javelin volleys probably favors Barry because that's just less Javs that can kill your 4 Cav overall. Obviously, each Jav Cav is completely equal with or without ammo, so it's not like you have better Jav Cav, you want to waste the ammo of the other one or something, but it's just about what targets are available, and of course there's more targets on the side of Barry. That being said, of course, Barry could, using any ammo on Cav is super valuable here because he already has the Cav advantage. Levy Freeman taking some volleys, so Asseror kind of has to go forward here. I mean, Barry would like to shoot down these Levy Freeman. I mean, it's just free shots. Asseror's not getting any shots right now, so that's just, yeah, free damage. One thing I like to do is when I'm rotating like this, I'll just keep my slinger stationary so I can shoot, because when he counter rotates, okay, he actually goes back, which is fine, but if he counter rotates, then you're getting shots for free with your slingers. You can always move your slinger out of harm's way later on, but while you can get those free shots, kind of good to do so. But yeah, just testing early on, not really giving up anything. Obviously, it's, you know, kind of an important game. Asseror gonna move his slingers up to the front now, which is nice. I think that's the right move. Just get shots, force people to come into each other. I mean, no side really prefers to come into each other here because it's 4 slingers for each. It's not a real big deal who goes first, but now getting some nice shots into the Celtic Warriors. So either Barry should just want to trade, but Asseror, I mean, it's very, these things don't matter that much in the end. Like, probably the game is going to be won or lost by bigger plays or bigger mistakes, potentially. But Asseror would prefer to trade all his slinger ammo right now because his slingers are very unlikely to survive with 4 enemy cav on the field, right? Compared to his 3. He doesn't really need his slingers to survive. He'd like to use a lot of his ammo early on, and same with Barry, because again, he's not going to be able to get to Barry's slingers more than likely because it's 4 cav to 3. So trading the ammo frontally is a very good trade for him, right? Because now the slingers, if the slingers are out of ammo, they have no value, and now the cav can't really kill them and waste value on the slingers, or, you know, by killing them when they still have ammo. So any value here is really good. Oh, big rear shot volley. He's trying to get his Celtics to safety because he's, you know, he sees that they're a target, but instead he's gonna go forward. But that's big damage on that Celtic Warrior. Again, it's gonna make his Celtic Warrior better, although, you know, his Fierce Sword better here. His front dumping. Potentially some damage here from the scouts. good kill there. But wasting 2 volleys for it, not really great. Asseror playing pretty wide now, all of a sudden, moving out some units to the flank here. Just kiting backwards, but kiting should be fine for Barry. You can just get free shots here. All the Celtic slingers. Weird little love tap there. Actually gonna be nice for Barry because no Pilo, so. I mean, he does get some Pilo, but nothing doing. Gonna get a nice charge here. Counter charge coming in though. Actually, a very nice charge. A better charge from Asseror there than for Barry. Barry gonna get some nice kills in this live frame, but this charge frontal into both units gonna be very good. No support close by though, so long term this fight's actually bad. This live Freeman is just gonna die. Well, a lot of kills in the Celtic Warriors. Cav coming from all sides. Probably wants to charge this Fierce Sword, no? Okay, he's gonna get into the Fierce Sword. He's also gonna get into all 3 of these units, so this is a very good charge. But again, he can't overuse these Cav early. Already injured Cav, and again, he's down Cav to begin with. But this Cav did kind of waste itself on the flank. Killing an entire Jav Cav here, though, of Asseror's very big value. Here, that's a huge deal. He's gonna get into the other one as well, probably. But this fight on the right is going very well for Asseror. Left, not so much. He's going to have to engage here. He's going to use a Fierce Sword to tie down this Oathsworn while his own can live. But he's already taken some big damage on that Oathsworn. Nice charge, though. I mean, Fierce Swords on the charge going to get their value for sure. Now some counter attack going to come in here, going to kill a lot of these Germanic Scout Riders. So both sides losing their Scout Riders. Actually, this one getting shot down by the Slinger very effectively as well, so that's pretty nice. Oathsworn going to get into a good fight here, but support on the way. It's more support for the side of for Barry here against this Oathsworn, so it could just die if he can make a good engagement happen here. 100 against 111, so he is winning this fight, but he is losing some slingers. But the Pila coming in and stuff is very nice. I mean, Asseror doesn't look great here. I mean, he's losing a Fierce Sword here, but the Oathsworn going to countercharge, probably kill off this Oathsworn, so that could be good value. Jav Cav gonna live, and then this flank is much dominant. Like, this flank is dominant for Asseror. He needs to run through this flank and win the game over here before he collapses on this flank. I mean, he's not really collapsing yet on this flank, but he will soon. The general is here. He doesn't, the Oathsworn is another general. So, yeah, I mean, so Oathsworn, Fierce Sword, Celtic Warrior, everything is through this flank. This is gonna be like a nice win for him, though. He is losing a lot to the Fierce Swords, though. So this flank, yeah, again, this flank is kind of over for him. There's more Cav, I guess, in the area for Asseror, but not for long, right? Any Cav could just rotate over here. 52 Scout Rider, 48, 34 Mighty Horse, 33, 42. So these trades are coming through. Cav situation of full Mighty Horse here, full and half, and just this 44-man Mighty Horse here, Scout Rider, and then the 2 here. So much better Cav health for Barry, but he also started with 1 extra one, so it's not really a big surprise. Nice charge here, but what's going to follow up on this charge? Like, there's nothing to follow up here at all. Barry should be playing slower on this flank. Like, he should be giving this up, like, even sacrificing, whatever, Levy Freeman here to get out, because he knows that this Fierce Sword is going to die. He knows that this Oathsworn is going to die soon, because the collapse is going to come in. He needs to win on this flank, kill this Oathsworn, and then use his general to cook everything here, but he has too much Cav invested on the wrong side of the map, right? There's no aggression from this flank, even this is where he needs to be aggressive. And there's so much Cav here where he's playing defensive. You don't need the Cav here when you're going to play defensive. You need the Cav to start this aggro, essentially. This Oathsworn going to buy a lot of time as well. Fierce Sword in the center. Okay, Fierce Sword actually getting a nice charge into everything here. It's a full Fierce. I mean, there is the General, obviously, but getting a clean charge with a Fierce Sword is always going to hurt. Nice charge here from Barry. Gonna get some counterplay on the flank, force these units to turn around, which is good. I mean, this Mighty Horse is gonna cook everything. They can just run away before this guy can help. But again, you really would like to see aggro here, because now Barry's Oathsworn is gonna eat shit from these slingers when he could be pressuring in with his Cav. Oathsworn probably gonna kill off this Fierce Sword, but it'll be close. General kind of just wasting time here, not really getting value, dying to slingers while killing a Celtic Warrior. And the Cav just feeling it needs to play defensive again. This Light Freeman can go kill this Light Freeman. You don't need the Cav to do this. The Cav need to break through the lines while there's no support for anything, and they can just kill the Slingers. This Light Freeman can go forward into the Slingers. And over here, no, a terrible fight. You need to get out of there. He's gonna, okay, he actually is gonna get out, so it's not bad. He got out before this Fierce Sword could do much, but he's losing the infantry battle kind of heavily, I would say. I mean, this Oathsworn's almost dead. His General, again, almost dead. But if he was more aggressive here, he could kill off all the Slingers, and then he would have his own Slingers for the endgame. Oh, there's this full Germanic Scout Rider back here as well for Asseror. That's crucial. It killed off something. It looks like it killed off another enemy Germanic Scout Rider. So the trade's coming in there. I didn't really catch that. 35 against 33, that's fine. Oathsworn gonna get in here. Again, where's the aggro? It might be too late at this point. The Slinger's still alive though, could cause a lot of damage. Oathsworn, again, the Oathsworn just getting shot so hard. Not really getting that many kills. He could cycle out. I don't know, he could do anything here to help them survive. This Oathsworn 100 men. And the Cav, again, the Cav just feel like they're being wasted here because they're not going in. This Cav going to chase this, maybe just trying to catch it while he thought he maybe didn't see it, but a good catch from Asseror, realizing he had that Cav. And again, the General just not breaking through. Oathsworn are going down though. This Oathsworn's still 70 men, it's pretty healthy. Probably kills off this Sewer Sword long term, but maybe not. He still has the Scout Rider, still has the Slinger, so everything to play for. Mighty Horse getting dumped. But where's the Cav to block for them? Okay, yeah, the Cav will be there in time. But the Fierce Sword's also getting sword-sided here. The General, again, just having very low impact in this fight. Not sure why he did so poorly, honestly. I mean, obviously, yeah, he was being shot, but you would have expected a little better, at least. But Celtic Warrior just tying him down, and I think the infantry is slightly too much here at this point. I mean, this Cav should die, but there's pretty healthy. I mean, there's 30 men Fierce Sword. Again, the Slingers are just killing Oathsworn like it's nobody's business. Allowing these Fierce Swords to get value because the Oathsworn are just getting shot in the side, in the back. The General and this Fierce Sword, again, 30 men, 78 men. Nothing is very healthy, but this General just feels completely out of place here. Gonna die to a Celtic Warrior. I don't know how the Oathsworn did so bad in this fight, even while being shot, but definitely didn't help. And yeah, I mean, that's gonna spell disaster. I mean, he does it the Slingers, but the Slingers are also alive mostly for Asseror. And this, yeah, this Javcav gonna spell disaster. The General probably has just died as well, which means instant routes wherever you can click on the Slingers. And yeah, that's gonna do it. So a very close game. Again, coming down to the Slingers in the end game, pretty much. But yeah, just a couple of very inefficient fights, you could say. This Cav is getting some value here. Trying to kill some Slingers off. But the General going to come back and save them. This Scout Rider, a very healthy unit as well. Slingers routing. And yeah, not much more to play for here. So, very close games, a very close series. But Asseror prevails in the end 2-1. And moves on to the final. So, yeah, I mean, well played to both players. But all the games were pretty close. Just come down to a few decisions in the end. But yeah, yeah, it's just the Oathsworn, no value. Comparatively. I mean, these Oathsworn not getting insane value, but at least getting the value. These ones not so much. A couple of Fierce Swords as well. Whereas Asseror's Fierce Swords getting insane value. Barry's not so much. Celtic Warriors is fine. But in the end, yeah, I mean, the 4 Cav not paying off. Just weren't getting enough. Not getting enough aggression with them in the mid game. He's playing so defensively with them when realistically he could afford to go forward. Um, And yeah, in the end, that cost Barry a bit because the Slingers ended up doing so much for Asera. Got 2 chevrons, very healthy. But anyway, GG's, well played to both players. Great series, fun to watch, and hope you guys enjoyed. We'll bring the finals at some point. Will be me versus Asera, so should be a good game. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next one. Peace.